Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Yeah, there's a continuation on page 16 where the president himself has been talking about it. But I guess that I'll just pick your brief thoughts on this so we can move on to some other issues. Yep. So I'll start with you. Obviously.
Me?
At long last.
Oh, okay.
So we found peace in Bawku.
Who told you?
It appears. It appears.
Who told you that?
Why do you think there's? Why do you think there's? You still
All
think there are
that was
issues?
said yesterday.
Yes.
All that was said yesterday by the Asantini is that there's a Supreme Court ruling. Let's enforce the Supreme Court ruling. Didn't we know all the time that there was a Supreme Court ruling which needed to be enforced?
But
did you have to set up another committee, commission, whatever, to come and tell us that there's a Supreme Court ruling which needed to be enforced?
Because the two parties couldn't even agree on the Supreme Court judgment. That's why there was always a fight. There were always conflicts.
So what is new?
Now, the Asantehene has been able to say that, look, this is what the Supreme Court says, and these are the reasons why the Supreme Court has made this pronouncement. So
didn't we know that before? What is new? Tell me what is new. There's nothing new. We have always known that there's a Supreme Court ruling on the Bawku chieftaincy affair. And we have always known that until the Supreme Court has reversed its decision, until there has been some legal processes and so on, that decision needed to be enforced. That's all that the Asantini is saying. We've known that all the time. What is new? Somebody should be telling me what is new.
One of the factions has agreed, which didn't used to be the case. Now one of the factions says, okay, I agree that I am the chief, and there's the other person who says, oh, I agree, I'm not the chief. So, peace. That's new.
Is that how Supreme Court decisions are
Before
enforced?
the two, well, we tried it. We've sent military, we've sent police. It wasn't just working. Every time there's something happening in Bawku. But now they've made a firm assurance that would end.
You see, this morning, and you said it, I mean, I spent a lot of time going through the Constitution.
Right.
I've paid particular attention to Articles 270 to 277. There's nothing here which suggests that chieftaincy disputes should be resolved this way. Nothing in the Constitution. The mandate to resolve chieftaincy disputes is clearly spelled out in the Constitution. Read Article 270 to 277. Actually, page 150 to page 153.
Right.
It's clear. You understand? Now, if all we needed to do was an affirmation that there's a Supreme Court decision which needs to be enforced, we wouldn't be here. You understand? I know that, conflict is not a pleasant thing. I know that many people have lost their lives in the Bawku chieftaincy dispute. I know that has disrupted economic activity. I know that there's a general fatigue. People want it to be resolved anyhow, somehow. People want an end to this conflict. And therefore, people are ready to hold on to straws, Anything that sounds like being hopeful, people are happy about it. They want to hold on to it and so on. But I think, look, we must look at substance. And when I'm looking at substance, the Bawku chieftaincy disputes, like most chieftaincy disputes, it's a colonial legacy, clear colonial legacy. All of this spring from Britain's decision to apply indirect rule, the Lord Lugard principle, has created all of these, many of these problems, you understand? So we need to take a very firm decision as a country to heal the colonial rules, to dismantle the legacy of colonialism. And that's not an easy task. You understand? It's not an easy task at all. This strange, absolutely lunatic approach to governance, which Lord Lugard introduced, is responsible for all of this. Lord Lugard decided that the Crown, the British Crown, needed to be insulated from certain decisions and so on. And that it was easier to manipulate our people to accept colonial rule if that rule came through the chiefs. So the Lugar principle was established. And in areas where there were no chiefs, the British sought to create chiefs. In many parts of the north, chieftaincy, as we know in the Akan areas and so on, was not practiced there. There, the Tindanis were actually the leaders, the administrative heads, administrative and spiritual heads and so on. The British went beyond the Tindanis and created chiefs. You understand? It's even the same in the Gadangwe areas, where the Wuloma were the leaders, the administrative leaders, administrative and political leaders, administrative, political and spiritual leaders. And they sought to create this institution of chieftaincy and so on, completely dislocated our traditional institutions which were evolving and developing, you understand, and created this mess for us. This is not the only place where there's a problem. If it comes to African spirituality and so on, colonialism did a lot of damage. You know, our educational system is hugely problematic. At the time that I went to secondary school, some of the examination questions for history were very strange questions. I mean, it was common to find a question like, can you discuss the positive and negative impacts of colonialism? You remember? I'm sure that in your term you also dealt with that. We were being asked to discuss positive and negative impact of colonialism. What can be positive about domination and exploitation and so on? You understand? And yet, we're brainwashed. We're brainwashed. We need to recalibrate. We need to reset. And it's a whole huge enterprise. It's not just about Bawku chieftaincy dispute. It's not just about chieftaincy conflicts. It's about everything. Our educational system, you know, our legal system, everything needs to be reset. So you take Bawku conflict as an isolation and go and tinker with it, and you think you've solved the problem. You haven't solved any problem. It's going to break out from some other place. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So, look, if you want to look at this as colonial legacy, let's look at it as colonial legacy and deal with the problem as a colonial legacy. I mean, yesterday I heard the briefing by the Asantehene, and some parts of the briefing alluded to that, the role that, you know, the colonial administration played in creating this problem. But the entire problem, not part of it, is the creation of colonial administration. You understand? Now, if you look at Article 270, if you want to look at it, here's the Constitution, Article 270 to 277. It says that there should be a regional house of chiefs which should handle these matters, you know, disputes about who is a chief, who is not a chief, and so on. And that every regional house of chiefs should be composed by 5 elected chiefs. And then there's a national house of chiefs, which also tries to resolve these matters, and that the national house of chiefs should act as an appellate body. And then when the national house of chiefs has made a determination, and the parties are not satisfied and so on, the next line of action is to go to the Supreme Court. That is what the Constitution prescribes. What are we doing? Trying to sidestep the Constitution, doing hop, step, and jump, and so on, and creating more mess? My friend, I'm not,
all right. We'll take a break.
Not that enthusiastic.
We'll take a break. Insisted that the comparison exposes a deeper problem. So everything that you're saying, you're making the situation worse. He tells Evan Spencer.
You see, we marketed Akufo-Addo for 8 months.
Yes, that's what he claims.
I understand that.
Because the facts may not bear him out.
Yes, that's what I wanted to get that.
Right?
But what, are you guys just doing a reaction to Brian Champion?
No,
it's all part of that. These are some of the things that his
why don't you just simply take it as a topic for discussion?
Yes.
And then we can all discuss.
Yes,
I'll bring it. I'll bring it.
The impression I'm getting is that it's an opportunity for Collins to respond to.
Oh no.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Obviously, no. The point he made
I'm
about.
sure everybody watching us will get the same impression.
No, not at all.
I mean, just as he put it, that is
These
that
are issues that are coming.
yes, that
I
Bawumia
just
lost
thought I should
all the
run it by you.
Zongo, what do you call it, polling stations.
So raise the issue one. Let's all react to it.
Yes.
No, I'll bring
But
you.
the format we had is that, issue number one, respond. Issue number
Well,
two.
at all.
I'm responding to the question that he's posing to me.
That's more like an interview.
No, you know why? Because he is a Bawumia.
Yes, but I've heard people say, not just even Brian, I've heard people say that Bawumia lost all the Zongo polling stations. That is not factual.
Except one.
That's not factual. Because there are clear evidences to the contrary that Bawumia won more Zongos, not just one.
More than what?
No, the point they made is that Bawumia lost all the Zongos except one. I'm saying that the facts are here, and I have it here. He won more Zongo, not just one. So
it
it's
could have been two.
no, it's even more than two. But I'm
Three.
saying it's more than three. I have the data
Four.
here. It's more than that. But I'm
Five.
saying, Uncle, I have the data. I can forward it to. I can give it to him for him to
Say
project. Oh, I can give it to him for him to project. What I'm saying is that when you say that Bawumia lost all the polling stations but one, that cannot be factual. But I understand.
So if you want two, it still cannot be factual.
No, but I'm saying that I
if you
understand.
want three, it still cannot be
It's
factual.
even more than three. I can get you the data.
So what did he win?
Uncle, I can get you the data. If you want me to read it, I can read it.
No, but
I
you
can
said
read
it
it.
Please send the data to Brian.
Oh, I can read it.
So for Brian to
Polling
read
station by
No,
polling station, I can read it.
We want to.
Yes,
we want
I'll
to
project. I'll send it to you for you to project. The point I'm making is that Kwesi, you can have your campaign, and it's true. Others have said that Bawumia couldn't win the North. That's factual. The way we're expecting to win the North, he didn't pull that as expected. That's factual. But if you say he lost all Zongos and won only one, that cannot be factual. But you can make your point that he was marketed as somebody to bring in that enclave, but we didn't see that. That's a valid point. That is a valid point, but that's factual.
So why were you expecting him to win the North?
Oh, Kwesi. Now you are also starting the monologue.
No, I'm not joining. I mean, why were you
Let me not bring him.
No, don't save him. Don't save him. Why were you expecting Bawumia to win?
Yes, we expected him to win.
Why?
I'm coming on, Kwesi. Let me send the data to, and then.
Right.
Yes.
I don't suppose you're sending the data with your mouth.
Oh, Kwesi.
Why were you expecting Bawumia to win the North?
Oh, Kwesi. For me, Bawumia had positioned himself.
Collins Adwoa Mensa, who is the MP for Ifija-Kwabre North. Yes, Ifija-Kwabre North constituency. Obviously, so your general thoughts about, first of all, the survey and Sarah Safo, Brady Champo, Ken. What does that say? All the core meanings.
The correctness of the survey will be tested in the actual election.
Okay.
I mean, in the past, over the last 1 year, we have seen many survey reports who didn't mean anything at all. In this particular instance, one of the things that is being thrown about is the name of the NGO which carried out the survey. But you see, there's a problem there. I know the foundation.
Okay.
I know the foundation very well. If they carried out a survey, what they probably did was to pay a pollster to do it for them.
Interesting.
So using the name of the organization itself can be problematic because they didn't do it by themselves. I know that as a fact. Okay. So which pollster was contracted to do this survey? That would be interesting to know.
But
election,
doesn't the CAF organization care about their reputation?
Yeah, they do care about their reputation, but everybody gets it wrong sometime. You understand? In the last elections, and a whole university professor was encouraged, contacted, and so on to do a survey. Wow! the error. And you know what I'm talking about. A whole university professor, he came nowhere near the mark. You understand? So there's an extent to which these surveys can be reliable or not reliable. So far, in all honesty, there's one survey that I am able to rely on, and I'll continue to rely upon it until it misses the mark, and that's Global Info Analytics. Over the last couple of years, it is the only polling agency that appears to be getting it right. And this survey result is not Global Info Analytics, so I have to be careful, about how to take it and so on. Now, there's a suggestion that Dr. Bawku is doing close to 70% is getting close to 70% of the votes. I'm not so sure. And I don't see how anybody can be so sure if you follow the trends in the media and on social media and so on. It doesn't give you that impression. You tend to get a sense that it's a hotly contested race. This survey really flies in the surface of what most people think and feel. And therefore, it's a very extraordinary survey. I have always had the belief, based on what I read, based on what I see and so on, that it's a hotly, closely contested race, at least between 3 of the contestants. This gives Dr. Bawku 67%. The closest rival gets something in the 20 percentages.
23%.
Yeah. And then the last two have to share 5% of the votes. It doesn't seem to me to be too realistic. Okay. Now, most of the things that you said that his opponents are saying about him are not insults.
Yeah.
They are either factual or they are false. Did he win in the Zongo communities? And if he didn't win in the Zongo communities, why didn't he win in the Zongo communities? Was it reasonable to assume that he will win the north of this country? And what was the basis of that assumption? These are the questions that come up. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, I think what the people of Ghana expect, and they have a right to expect that, is that all of this contest within the New Patriotic Party, the contest which will come within the National Democratic Congress and the CPP and so on, ultimately should lead to the emergence of a leadership which is able to address the concrete aspirations of our people. And I'm not hearing a lot of that. I'm not hearing a lot of things about the policy direction of the next leader. I'm not hearing a lot about how he will tackle education differently and so on. All I'm hearing are proclamations of self-interest. And they do so brazenly, without feeling shy. You have somebody who is supporting the candidate come and say that, oh, look, this politics is clearly about self-interest, what you will get. And I know that if I support candidate A, when he wins, I'll get a certain position. My goodness. Is this what Ghana politics has been reduced to?
Isn't that the reality of our times?
But is that reality comforting you?
No, at all. It doesn't.
I mean, the days when people used to talk about huge dreams, how to transform Ghana, what kind of agricultural practices we should have, and so on. Are you saying that they are gone and gone forever?
It appears so, unfortunately. Or sadly.
Look, sometimes I feel like puking. You hear somebody look us in the face, look us and says, vote, this is my candidate, vote for this candidate, because when you vote for this candidate, he will make me a minister. What do you take us for? What do you take us for? And they say brazenly, they have no respect for us. They have no respect for the people of Ghana. They insult us on a regular basis without blinking an eye. And wow. I mean, one of the campaign messages I've had and which has become quite topical now, is the campaign message of Honorable Sarah Adwoa Safo. And when you listen to her, you don't know who she's campaigning for.
How?
You don't know.
But she has said it.
Said
It's
what?
a matter of public record. That she
But
says she is for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
No, listen to her carefully. This is a former member of parliament who says that, look, I want you to vote for Dr. Bawumia.
Yes.
Because if you vote for Dr. Bawumia, he is likely to give me a prominent position.
Yes.
Don't vote for Kennedy Japan. Because if you vote for Kennedy Japan, he would not do family and friends. He would not establish a family and friends government. And because he would not establish a family and friends government, I will not get a position. Who is she campaigning for? Think about it. Who is she campaigning for? The effect of her statement is to say that Kennedy Japan would not build a government based on nepotism, would not build a nepotic government. You understand?
A nepotistic government. That's what he wants.
Nepotic, whatever. That Kennedy Japan will not build a nepotistic government, as you say. Okay? So who is she campaigning for? Tell me, who is she campaigning for?
No, I get your drift.
So even the messages
even though it's
are mixed.
inadvertent.
Yeah, the messages are mixed. They are confusing. You don't know what they want. You know. I mean, wow. Sometimes I get completely dazed, you know. These people, where did they come from? All these people on the campaign trail, where did they come from? They can't even send simple, straightforward messages. And they want Ghana to be given to them to manage. How are they going to do that? Well, unfortunately, this is where Ghana has come. This is where we have reached. And perhaps we have to live with it. I mean, incredible. Incredible. I mean, the messaging.
Uncle, see, it's self-preservation.
And the other thing...
She says that if Ken Ejapon wins the race, a political career has ended. Finished.
Yes. Why?
Yeah, because he won't mind her.
Why?
If he gives her a position, they will say he's giving his baby mama a position. And that'll become a family and friends conversation. We'll talk about it here.
Won't you vote for such a person?
Well, who I vote for, who I not vote for.
No, won't you vote for such? Won't you vote for somebody?
In principle, yes. In principle, I agree with you. That I won't vote for someone who do family and friends.
Yes. Who is going to vote for somebody who is coming to do family and friends? So the messages are confusing, they are mixed and so on. But there's something that I find interesting. Maybe the Honourable Member of Parliament will help us clarify that. On this campaign trail, Brian Achampong is attacked.
Yes.
Heavily. Kennedy Japan is attacked. Kwabena Japan is attacked. Educhum is attacked. The party machinery does not react. Check. As soon as Dr. Bawumia is attacked, General Secretary is going to hold a press conference or issue a statement in his defense. What is happening? What is happening?
Obviously, but he has...
Well, where is the fairness in this practice?
But he has some privileges that perhaps the rest don't have. He's a former vice president.
Oh, I see.
Yes, the rest don't have that.
Oh, okay. Then
Yes.
let's leave it at that.
He's almost like the party's property.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he has an advantage over the rest.
Well, to some extent.
The party machinery favors him.
No, I'm not saying that.
Against the rest.
But once
What are you talking about?
Once you attack Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you've attacked the party.
But if you attack Kwabena Japan, you haven't attacked the party.
Not necessarily.
If you attacked Brian Achampong, you haven't attacked the party.
No, I mean the party.
So where is the fairness in this election process? If that is what you are saying, I'm not saying it.
Well,
Yes.
vote it will be fair. I don't think there will be any unfairness.
When the party machinery
Yes.
sees one of the candidates as its own and the others as outsiders, where is the fairness? You are saying it, I'm not saying it. Well, where is the fairness then? Boss.
I get your drift.
No, get your own drift. The drift is coming from me.
No, but it doesn't mean that the process won't be fair.
How is the process fair? When there's discrimination in favor of one candidate, as you say,
No, it won't amount to discrimination per se. But
what
I'm
does
saying
it
that
amount to?
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not just an aspirant. In fact, as we speak, he's not a candidate. He is the former vice president of this country on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. If some party elements decide that when he's attacked, they would come out and speak to those attacks, I don't know how that becomes a case of favoring him per se, favoritism. I mean, by the mere fact that he's a former vice president itself makes him, you can call it, he will earn certain privileges. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
No.
If you disagree, that's fine.
And what is wrong with my interpretation then?
That
There's a bias in his favor. Because that's exactly what you are saying.
Well.
You're saying exactly that there's a bias in his favor. And then there's something interesting that Collins said, I mean, others have said. It's so interesting. Hey, what is happening? You come into government and you fail woefully in managing the economy. And you think you can walk away and say, I wasn't the Minister of Finance. Moro, does that make sense? Does that make sense? First and foremost, every minister acts on behalf of the president.
Fact.
The ultimate responsibility for every minister, for every policy decision and so on, must end up with the president.
Fact.
That's the system
Fact.
we are running.
Fact.
There is the correct assumption that major decisions about the economy and so on are made by cabinet, not by the individual ministers.
Right.
So there's collective responsibility. Besides, every minister is supposed to be implementing the manifesto agenda of the political party. The ministers are not islands on their own and so on. So when the economy fails, the whole government has failed, including the president, including the vice president, who also incidentally happens to be the chair of the economic management team. Is there any dispute about this?
Not at all.
Finish.
Yeah, but
It means you agree
absolutely, that's exactly the point I'm making.
Collins said he shared blame.
Absolutely, that's exactly the point I'm
His
making. So
point, he shared blame.
Dr. Mahmoud
So
Bawumia
nobody should
cannot
single
say
anybody out.
that he should be singled out, that he is not to be blamed. No, and he himself has made it public.
Okay.
And apologized on. Kwesi was making a point that where Moro was trying to play the devil's advocate. Moro, it is true Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is in a privileged position, especially because he was a former vice president, a former flag bearer. That privileged position does not mean that others should be discriminated against.
Right.
That point should be made very clear.
Right.
Yes.
My friend,
No, I was
how is he in the privileged position?
No, you are not
he's in
getting
a
my point.
privileged position because he's considered primus inter pares.
No, Uncle, you are not getting my point. No.
Others are not getting the privileges that he gets.
No, Uncle, you are not getting my point. The fact that he's a former vice president and a former flag bearer, when we go to a function, his picture may be there as a former vice president. Others will not get that opportunity. That's the point I'm making. But that does not mean that when assigns of his make derogatory statements, they shouldn't be punished the same way others are punished.
That's the one I'm talking about.
No, but that's
what
not.
I'm talking about is when he is criticized.
That's the I'm coming.
The whole party machinery.
You are not getting my points.
Why can't the party machinery come in defense of Brian Achebe?
You are not getting my point. I'm agreeing with you that is privilege. That privilege that he has does not extend to the fact that others should be disadvantaged. That's the point I'm making.
So if you agree with
but in terms of he being in a privileged position, that you can't do anything about it. You will go to a function, he can be at the top, others will be down because he's a former vice president. His pictures may be there with the former president and former vice president. Others will not get that same privilege. So for that you can't do anything about.
You can go to a congress.
You can't do anything about it.
You can go to a congress at the University of Ghana Stadium.
Yes. Yes.
Because he's privileged, he can walk in hand with his wife waving to the crowd, you know,
That's
in a nicely choreographed manner.
Oh, Uncle C.
And Kennedy Japan's 3 horses will not be allowed to.
Oh, please, Uncle C. You're expecting the horses to enter the ground.
You are the one talking about
Uncle C.
who is not privileged. Am I the one talking about who is not privileged?
Uncle C. My point is that.
Is it?
My point is that
Talking about this
horses for a very long time. The point I'm making is that I'm going to say I agree with you to the extent that if you abuse Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the party acts, when assigns of Bawumia also abuse other candidates, the party must act. That I agree with you.
So we agree.
I've not said so. I've not said we don't agree, but I'm saying that the point is making.
We agree perfectly.
Perfectly. You shouldn't discriminate.
No trouble.
We don't have any problem at all. But the point I'm making is, as for him being in a privileged position, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
He's a former flag bearer. He's a former vice president.
And how does that privilege?
Obviously, he will be in a certain.
My boss.
Yes. Oh, you are the boss. You are the boss.
How does that privilege find expression? And I've given you one example. That privilege can find expression in many ways. One of the ways of finding expression is at the Congress grounds in Lagos.
At the Congress grounds, Uncle C.
So
he was given an opportunity. No. He was given an opportunity.
White horse and a black or brown horse. And those horses are prevented from entering the stadium.
Uncle C. When you expecting the horses to enter the auditorium,
I just want to understand how that privilege finds expression in real practice. That's all I'm yes, sir.
There are certain things that a former vice president, sometimes we go to a function at the headquarters and you see pictures of past leaders. Obviously, Bawumia's picture will be there.
Who is quarreling with?
Yes, I'm saying that those are the privileged things I'm talking about. So if other contestants.
So you're not talking about the privilege about entering the stadium.
Oh, as for the stadium, he was going there. He went there as a former vice president, and he gave a speech as a former vice president. That the others were not vice president before. They've never been vice president. So they will not get that opportunity.
Hand in hand with their wives.
They'll obviously not get that opportunity.
They couldn't walk
at the stadium.
With their horses.
Oh, I'm with you. Why are you making this horse issue?
You know what he left out of this horse scenario, right? The first time he spoke about this, he said he believes that the horses were fed. Why? They were fed for the day. Just for them to come and
do you think that the horses went there on empty stomach? They went there on empty stomach.
These horses matter. Those are some of the privileges that.
Have I said anything which is untrue?
No. But I'm saying that those are some of the privileges that Bawumia will get above the others. Not because the others are not important. But if there's a function like a conference and the former vice president, especially when that day the ex-president Nana Dankwa and the other ex-presidents were all not in the jurisdiction, he assumed the position as the only surviving ex or vice president.
Primus inter pares.
Yes, but he was a former vice president.
Primus inter pares.
Yes, he was a former vice president.
The first.
And so he was given an opportunity to make a speech as a former vice president. Obviously, the others will not get that opportunity. That is not discrimination. That is a right that has accorded him because of the position he held previously.
But
you get the point I'm making. But this horses thing I see
Boss, you're a very smart young man. You know that. You're a very smart young man.
Uncle, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
Well, I intend that as a compliment.
Thank you.
And you know within your heart that we are not talking just about the opportunity to make a speech. We are talking about many other things.
And Uncle, I've said,
the entrance, the style. What are you talking about? The man came arm in arm with his wife, waving a white handkerchief.
They came out.
That one too is because he was.
They came out as former second family. Yes, that's true. Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
they're the former second family.
Good.
That's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Master, let's carry on.
So, your colleague MP, Michael Edu, the cocoa farmer.
Yes.
Yes, MP for Chrome. He sent me this message. He says, good morning. Dr. Bawumia did not win the entire North, but he won the Northeast region for MPP. And the fact is that the Northeast region is the only region in Ghana that appreciated votes for the MPP in 2024, even though other regional votes declined. In effect, MPP won 3 regions in 2024, Ashanti, Eastern, and Northeast. That's from Michael Edu. Now, this one here from...
This is factual.
Yeah, that's factual.
Yes, it's factual, yes. Alhaji Hamza from Payfarm says, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, my brother. He says that I'm more than the word happy this morning for the good people of Bawku. I commend Otumfour and his mediation team for a very good job done. He did it for the good people of Dagbang and now to the good people of Bawku. And no wonder the president has described him as a state asset. I'm also happy to hear that a white paper will be issued in 24 hours in connection with this matter by the president. This goes to show how serious the president is concerned about the peace in Bawku. And it says the good people of Bawku have suffered enough, and it's time we give peace a chance for development to take place. And to our politicians, we should be guided in our comments concerning matters of peace. Okay. So, Oula Mangote, security analyst. It says, good morning, my brother. I have some time to spare this morning to watch your show in Bawku. My regards to you and your panelists, senior comrade Pratt, and the honorable MP. All the best. Hard guy. So Dennis Glass says that Kwesi is more than a political surgeon. He just delivered a succinct operation of the MPP failure to deliver the northern region with Bawumia as flag bearer in the 2024 elections. I agree. The decision to present him was simply tribal driven, a dangerous path for a political party as the MPP journey on. Sani Saliu sends this message. It says that but beyond the veil of tomorrow, a clarion call echoes, let politics and... Okay. It says the royal resolve. It's in a master stroke of diplomacy. Otumfour, the revered king of Ashanti, eschewed the blunt force of machinery for a far mightier tool, wisdom. With piercing insights, he dissected the complex web of conflict between the Kusasis and Mampurusis, laying bare the unvarnished truth for all Ghanaians to see. As the saying goes, facts are sacred, and His Royal Highness wielded them with precision. But beyond the veil of tomorrow, a clarion call echoes, let politics in that enclave be tempered with civility, and let the voice of NDC and NP be guided by wisdom. Let our words be laced with prudence, for in the crucible of tomorrow, only thoughtful discourse can forge a brighter future. Good morning, Sadi Sali, who sends that message. So E.D. Mukhtar, who lives in Adenta, says that my big brother Moro, my regards to our panelists. It is a sad phenomenon in the MPP as it is today. They've turned some of their flag bearer aspirants into demigods, making some of them untouchable. For that matter, when such demigods are criticized, the criticizers then become enemies of progress as well as deemed non-entities thereof. The MPP is at a crossroads as we speak. Peter T. from Shukura says, good morning, Moro. My regards to Comrade Kwesi Pratt. The least said about the Adwoa and the Kennedy Japan, the better. We are Ghanaians in Ghana and we're watching. Her statement needs to be condemned by her Bawumia in the party hierarchy, because it will serve a bad precedent that will hurt any Ghanaian political fraternity in future and can eventually spark fears and tension in our youth who are into science to practice. She must come and apologize if possible, withdraw the statement. This is really in bad taste. That's from Peter T. from Shukura. Shaggy from Nima says, is the MPP trying to come back again? May Allah forbid. That's Shaggy from Nima. And Ola Mangote is back. He says, as a citizen of Bawku, I'm very proud of and thankful to President Mahama, our pathfinder, waymaker, and miracle worker for sustainable safety, stability, peace, progress, and prosperity for our people in Bawku and other conflict-impacted communities, says Ola Mangote, Bawku, 17th December 2025. And that's how he ends his messages. He will always add where exactly he is. Tafai Namrai here says, good morning. We thank Allah for giving us judges with integrity, unlike before where people can easily predict. Okay, so this one we haven't discussed, and so I'm not going to read this message. So Kwesi Baini in Takrade says, is this how the MPP has descended into a party for the known Yabre Egu? Kwesi Baini from Takrade sends that message.
Kwesi actually used to work on the Chronicle. Is that the same Kwesi Baini?
I don't know if it's the same Kwesi Baini. Kwesi Baini, is it the same Kwesi Baini used to work with the Chronicle? Please clarify that, okay?
Yeah,
He's just sent it's his first time sending me.
or DC or something.
Okay. I don't know if it's the same person, but he's watching the show. So Kwesi, let us know. If you're the former DC, former worker with the Chronicle, reporter with the Chronicle, let us know. Send a message so you can clarify this for us. Now, this one here from Mujib, he's with the Ken Ejapon camp. It says, please cast polls and reflection on the grounds. We the connectors, with the people who are with Ken, are not worried, but rather we are focused interacting with delegates at the polling station. That's coming from Mujib. And it says, Bawumia's performance in 2024 elections is so abysmal that MPP can't representing him in 2028. That will be suicidal. Testing governance doesn't mean you can win elections. And then, Godwin Akogan, I've seen your message. Thanks. I'll do that. And this one here, some of them are personal. I don't like reading messages that are. Oh, he says yes, I am. It's the same Kwesi Baini.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard of him for
a very long time. Yes. Kwesi Baini. Yeah. That's him, I believe. Obviously, that's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's him. That's him. Yes.
Big man.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess that let's do some birthday, some birthday shout outs, and then we can end the show. So
the Ken campaign team, I think they're starting the Ashanti regional tour.
Okay.
It's supposed to be my constituency on Sunday.
Oh, the Ken team?
Yes. Unfortunately, I am I'll be out of the jurisdiction on Friday. Okay. But my principle is that I'm always available to meet all the candidates. Unfortunately, that his coming is I'll not be around. But arrangement has been made at the constituency for.
Are you sure people won't read any meetings into it?
No.
But you see, this is the problem. This is why members of parliament should not be declaring.
Right.
For the candidates.
Right.
We declare for the candidate, and we are supposed to be welcoming others into your constituency.
And I do that.
You can't be neutral.
I do that.
Yeah. How can you be neutral?
It's to create a platform for them to meet the delegates.
You can't be neutral because we've already declared for one candidate.
No.
That's the problem.
I make sure that delegates are available for them to engage them.
After poisoning the delegates.
Oh, how do I poison? I can't poison the delegates.
All right.
Just to assure his team that the team downstairs, everything will be sorted.
Okay.
Sorted out for them.
So that.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.